1, 2, 3, 4.
Besserwisserei. Besserwisser and Besserwisserei. We have similar words in English, but not quite. Besserwisser is a know-it-all. We would call him a know-it-all. But besser is, of course, better, and wisser is knower. So it's a better knower. It's not know-it-all. It's someone who knows something better than you. It's just relative. So if you're a complete idiot, the besserwisser could also be an idiot. But he would just know a little bit more than you. And if you're a super genius, he could also be a genius, but he would be a little more of a genius than you are. So it's relative. It's knowledge one-upmanship. And that's a huge game in Germany, in America too, by the way. But especially, I notice, especially in Germany, there's a certain way that people have of making a conversation go from a conversation to just a game of one-upmanship, of Besserwisserei, which would be the noun, Besserwisserei, better knowing it-ism. And you see it all the time. It's actually quite brilliant. Say you have an opinion or something that has been bothering you, and you want to talk about it. It's about the polarization of political discussion in the world today, in America or in Germany or whatever. And you say, well, I really feel like the leftists are not doing themselves a favor by portraying all the people on the right as conservatives as complete idiots. And so the best of it, the normal conversationalist would say something like, "Oh, well, why do you think that? Oh, you know what? I've been thinking about that too. That's a very interesting subject." And they would talk about the subject, but the Besserwisser would look for something in that statement that he can know something better about. He will ignore the entire statement in general. While you're talking, he'll be thinking, looking for that one sentence or a little phrase in there, some kind of assumption, a factoid that he can prove that he knows something more about. And completely, the subject is irrelevant what it is. It doesn't matter. He'll say something like, what do you mean by leftist? Because the leftists, there's a wide spectrum of leftist thought. There's extreme left, and there's a kind of a middle left, and there's leftists who eat meat and leftists who don't eat meat. So what do you mean by leftists? And you get distracted and you fall for it, and you say, most leftists I know, they do eat meat, and it'll go on, and that's Besserwisserei. It has nothing to do with conversation. It's a game that you play. It's like a sport, and if you can confuse the other person or kind of pretend to know something more, you don't actually have to know something more. You don't have to know more than someone else. You have to find a weak point in anything they say that they may not know well and pretend to know it better. Because if they don't know it, and you say something nonsensical, they won't be able to catch you. So you will still appear to know more than they do. And the thing is, I watch these guys, and it's very frustrating for me because even though I am also a Besserwisser, I am one of those guys. I will do the same thing. But every once in a while, I want to have a normal conversation. I can't have it. And so that's frustrating. But I watch these guys, and you can see when they're proving to someone else that they know something better, that you can watch them kind of grow. They kind of like their breasts kind of expand, and their head gets higher and taller, and they feel more in charge of themselves and their situation, and they feel like a respected human being. And it really is. It's for a lot of people, it's a huge source of self-esteem. Besserwisserei.
1, 2, 3, 4.